Yo, what's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Prison Break Raw. I'm your host, the one and only Big JD. Go ahead, give this channel, subscribe, share, at least some messages or comments. Hit the like button, hit the notification bell. You know what to do. PTSD, post-incarceration. For a lot of yous out there that have been incarcerated, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Some of yous out there that don't really know what this is, you're going to get a little bit of a crash course in what a lot of men and women experience when they get out of prison, sometimes for years after they've been out, up to decades, long after they've been done with their sentence, they've been on parole or probation. A lot of these fears are still present in their mind because it was something that was a part of their life for so very long. This is what it is, a crash course in what you may be experiencing and how to deal with it. This is how I deal with it. This is how I reason through it. A lot of this stuff comes in the form of very lucid, vivid dreams. I know some of yous out there know what I'm talking about, right? I just had a dream about this very thing just the other night. Let's go ahead and get into that. So, I had a dream that I was hooked up with somebody and we were doing a robbery. And this robbery was on a convenience store, mind you. And we were able to crack the safe, and the safe was not like a normal safe. Of course, you know, it's a dream, so it's a weird as fuck type of a safe. And there's all these boxes in there, and they look like almost like car batteries with the handle on them and everything, right? So I pick one of them up and I shake them, and I can hear like change moving around, and these things are heavy too. So I'm picking them all up, I'm putting them under my arms, I'm carrying them all out. I take them out of the store, we're gone, we leave. We end up at some kind of a crazy ass party where a bunch of people that I used to work with are there. This one girl that I know very well was actually the bartender. All these things were going on. And I'm opening up all of these boxes that I have. And lo and behold, these things are full of nothing but hamburger meat. Hamburger meat. Straight ground beef. Red ground beef. I mean, I could smell it. I could feel it in my hands. All of that shit. So I'm sitting here thinking that I just busted a lick for a bunch of hamburger meat. And then, like, when I moved my leg, something brushed up against the leg of a chair that was in front of me. And I went down to feel it, and it was an ankle monitor, the kind that people get put on when they're on house arrest, when they're on probation. It was an ankle monitor. Scared the shit out of me because the only thing that I was thinking in my mind was all they got to do is go through the history of all my movements, everywhere I've been, everything that I've done throughout the day, and they'll link me right to that robbery. It was only a matter of time before I was going to be incarcerated once again. It was scary as fuck. I knew it was coming. In my mind, I'm thinking, do I call my probation officer? Do I just turn myself in now? Do I go on the run? Do I cut this thing off and just go on the run? What do I do? What do I do? I was scared as shit. I woke up and you get that sense of, damn, it was a dream. Woo! And the relief sets in because it wasn't real. The one thing that I've learned to do over the last several years is to do the best I can in recording my dreams, writing them down. When I was incarcerated, I used to write down all these key details of my dreams. I had what was called dream journals for a long time. It was part of the steps that I was taking towards personal empowerment and growth in beating the recidivism trap and the revolving door that I was stuck in. Because your dreams are a clear indicator of things that are going on in your mind on the subconscious level that you don't really understand once you're awake. But there's symbols and keys, the things that are going on inside of you. And I knew this from everything that I've been researching, the spiritual path that I've been on, all these things that I was doing. They are a key to unlocking a lot of mysteries within your own mind. And they can help you if you can understand how to interpret them. A lot of people think that they have no meaning. They're just symbols of things that happen throughout the day. That's part of what they are, but they're a whole lot more than that. You just have to understand what is really going on in these things, and they're indicators of things that you need to work on. Because if they were just simple imaginations of the mind when you're sleeping, then how come you can't just close your eyes right now and picture a pepperoni pizza, taking a bite out of it and taste it, smell it, and everything just like you do in a dream? In a dream, you could smell things, you could taste things, you can hear things, you could feel things that you can't feel if you just close your eyes and imagine it. So a lot of people try to explain that away, and I don't buy into it because it's much different. It's almost like the soul of your body is experiencing its own life beyond the world that you currently see, this physical world that we're in. It's on an astral level, an etheric level, whatever, and it is connected to you in all ways, but it lives its own life. A lot of the things that you've been involved in and the things that you've done throughout your physical experience gets passed on to this in your subconscious or in the astral, whatever it is that you want to call it, and it's experienced there much the same way. These dreams that you have regarding being incarcerated or being locked back up in a cell, or a warrant pops up, or you fail a drug test, and it scares you to the point to when you wake up, you just can't stop thinking about it because it's that surreal that it ruins the rest of your day, or it has the potential to ruin the rest of your day. As a matter of fact, I know a man, good dude, man, good homie of mine. He was doing good. He was out doing his thing. He was working. He's providing for his family. He was staying out of that revolving door. All of that changed with one dream that he had. He had a dream that he was chilling with the homies. He was getting high. He was running amok. He was doing all these things. He was wheeling and dealing and selling dope, making a shitload of money. It wasn't a bad dream in the sense of being a bad dream where something bad happens to him in the end. It was a dream where he was rolling, balling, and was having the time of his life. He woke up from this dream and could not let it go, right? He was back into the thick of it all, thought that it was some kind of a spirit, some kind of a sign from some far-off world that he could make a lot of fast money, cutting on the side, chipping away at the side, selling a little bit of dope, get in and get out. And this was his plan. On the very first deal that he went on, he got busted, right? He's locked up again. And the moral of this is a lot of times we read too much into these feelings that we have regarding what we used to experience as being incarcerated to what we have now. A lot of it can be attributed to the fact that we don't want to lose what we've worked so hard to gain. And a lot of these dreams are a reminder of how much pain, suffering, stress, anxiety, all these things that came with the lifestyle that we used to live. Now, I don't have to write down my dreams anymore. All I could do is pick up my phone and I just press record on the video button and I start recording everything that I see, and then I can go back and listen to it over and over again and review everything in detail of what I experienced in that dream. And I was able to interpret this one, not completely, because sometimes it takes a long time to interpret the whole thing, but I was able to interpret most of this dream. Like the hamburger meat. It was obvious that I was eating something before I went to bed that had to do with ground beef. And probably wasn't sitting right in my stomach. And I ended up getting sick later. So the meat probably wasn't like the greatest meat in the world. Who knows? Maybe I let it sit in the refrigerator too long. But the actual, like the car battery, it was a reminder that I needed to change my battery because my car battery it's old, man. It needs to get swapped out. It keeps dying on me, and I keep having to get a jump from my fellow coworkers at my job. The robbery itself was more of a symbol of something that I'm trying to run away from. Something that I'm not completely engaging in. Like I'm robbing myself of the opportunity to do something better. Because in this whole situation, it was like all these different people were playing different roles in different emotions and feelings and ideas of the event that was going on. And to understand what all of them were saying and doing, I realized that they were all pieces of myself in conflict over many different things. And it probably has a lot to do with the direction of the show, my stance on a lot of other topics that I've covered, information that I put out to you. Am I giving you the greatest experience? And am I explaining myself to the best of my ability? Am I half-stepping a lot of everything that I'm doing in my everyday life? In my physical fitness routine, in relationships with other people? Where am I at as far as because I'm a single man, I don't have a wife, I don't have a family like that. Do I need to add that component into my life? Do I need to find that special woman that, well, a lot of people would say would complete you? That somebody that I can lean on in a lot of these times? Is it a little bit of loneliness? Was the robbery itself actually some kind of a symbol of me seeking attention? Because then I go to the party, right? I'm at the party and I got all these things and I'm carrying them around like, look at me, man, I just pulled off a lick. Am I looking for attention, or do I need some kind of attention from peers in my life? There's a missing piece somewhere in all of this that I need to discover in order to answer a lot of questions that I don't readily have right now. And an update to that will come later. But the moral of the story in all of this is, don't think that just because you're having these dreams about being in prison, being back in the cell, or doing a robbery, or selling dope, or there's even some that I've heard where somebody was shooting dope, knew that they had a drug test in like an hour in this dream, and they shot dope, and now they were scared to death. All these things can be explained in other ways outside of what they actually the picture represents. It's your mind telling you things that it knows that you can relate with, right? And they're trying to teach you, it's trying to teach you to parallel this to something else that's going on in your life. You have to decide what that is. You have to find that truth for yourself. You can't get caught up in the optics of this image, this picture, because it's only a half truth. It's a symbol of something else that's going on. It's just trying to give you something for you to relate to, something to understand, that you could parallel it to other things that are going on in your life. This right here could be a big help to you in your growth, because don't get so caught up in what the symbols are, the optics, right? Because that's all they are, is they're just something to try to get you to relate to something else. And it's nothing for you to feel ashamed or feel guilty over. It's just meant for you to work on something. It's for you to grow in some way. Your dreams are a means for you to grow or to learn from something. And they use symbols to guide you down that right path. It's just as simple as that. Don't get all caught up in what you think it may be, because 9 out of 10 times it's not that. It's not an indicator of what can happen, unless, of course, you make it a self-fulfilling prophecy and you make it that. You are ultimately the one that decides if the optics is going to rule your day, or if the hidden meaning in the optics itself is going to reveal itself to you. Go ahead and give it a try. The next time you have a dream, or the next time that you go to bed at night, have your phone and everything ready, right? And the minute you wake up, hit that record button and try to detail every piece of that dream that you can remember, and do this for a whole week. And start playing the tape and getting a notebook and writing out key things that stand out to you and piece them together like a puzzle. I guarantee you it'll reveal something about you that you may have never known before. Shit works for me. And this is why I'm standing where I'm at now. Prison Break Raw, uncut, uncensored, no holds barred, non-sugarcoated, non-politically correct, all up in your face, slapping you with that dick of reality, and I'm out.